All right, let's dive into a piece of tech that, well, pretty much felt like it changed the world overnight. We're talking, of course, about ChatGPT. So, how did this all happen? Let's get into it. 100 million. Just think about that number for a second. That's how many users ChatGPT got in its first 2 months. That made it the fastest growing app in history. I mean, nothing else has even come close. It's just staggering. So, what exactly is this thing that caused such a massive eruption? OpenAI dropped it in November of 2022, and it felt like it came out of nowhere. But the truth is, this was the result of years and years of work coming to a head. Okay, so at its heart, ChatGPT is a generative AI chatbot. It uses these things called large language models, or, the LLMs you hear about, to create totally new stuff. We're talking text, images, even music, all based on what you ask it to do. The whole point is for it to have conversations with you that feel, well, surprisingly human. And just look at this timeline. The speed of its development has been absolutely breathtaking. We started with GPT 3.5 when it launched, and then just a few months later, boom, GPT-4 comes out, which was way, way more powerful. And it's just kept going like that. The pace of this evolution is it's incredible. So the big question is, how do you actually teach a machine to think and write like this? Well, the process is fascinating. It's incredibly complex. And as you're about to see, it's also deeply, deeply human. Okay, it's all based on a process called reinforcement learning from human feedback. Sounds complicated, but think of it like teaching a student. First, in step 1, human trainers show the AI what a good conversation looks like. They play both sides. Then, in step 2, the AI basically just tries to copy what it saw. Here's the key part. In step 3, the human trainers look at the AI's different answers and rank them from best to worst. And finally, all those rankings are used to build a reward model that constantly fine-tunes the AI, basically teaching it to go for the helpful, safe answers. But there's a hidden human cost to creating that safety. To teach the AI what not to say, all the toxic, harmful stuff, OpenAI paid workers in Kenya to label that kind of content. For less than $2 an hour, they had to sift through deeply disturbing material. One worker described the job with just one word: torture. So once this powerful and, pretty controversial technology was unleashed on the world, what happened? The impact wasn't just big. It was immediate. And it sent shockwaves through, pretty much every industry. The reason it caught on so fast was its unbelievable versatility. This wasn't just some novelty chatbot you'd play with once. No, it could write and fix computer code, compose music, pass the U.S. medical licensing exam. It could translate entire documents. Pretty much anyone, in any field, could find a real use for it. I mean, the launch sent an absolute panic through Silicon Valley. Just try to imagine your Google, right? You're the undisputed king of search. And then all of a sudden, this startup drops a tool that could make your entire business model obsolete. It triggered a literal code red inside the company and forced all its competitors to scramble and rush their own AI out the door. And this quote from Paul Graham, the guy who co-founded Y Combinator, just nails the feeling at the time. He said it wasn't just that people were blown away by it, it was who they were. We're talking about veteran engineers, top investors, the people who've seen it all. And they knew this wasn't just another shiny new app. This was something different. Something big was happening. And you can see that shift happening right here in the data. Just look at the adoption among people under 30. It just exploded. It went from about 15% of that group using it in early 2023 to nearly 60% just 2 years later. It became a part of everyday digital life almost overnight. But here's the thing. For all of its incredible power, this technology is far from perfect. And that brings up a really critical question. What happens when a tool this powerful gets things wrong? Well, the biggest and maybe most famous problem is something called hallucination. This is when the AI just confidently makes stuff up and presents it to you as fact. And this isn't some rare 1 in a million glitch. One study estimated it happens around 3% of the time. And here's a perfect example. Someone asked it for the lyrics to a song. Now, instead of just saying, "Sorry, I don't know," ChatGPT went ahead and just invented them. They sounded totally plausible, like they could be the lyrics, but they were completely 100% wrong. It shows you how the AI is programmed to give you an answer, not necessarily the right one. And hallucinations are just the tip of the iceberg, really. The problems are everywhere. The AI can pick up and repeat biases from its training data. Its safety rules can be tricked and bypassed with clever prompts. It's even had major security bugs that leaked people's private data. It's so unreliable at times that it's been banned from places like Stack Overflow. So what you end up with is this dual reality. You have this technology with incredible, world-changing promise that at the very same time presents this profound, world-changing risk. And the contrast between that promise and peril is just so stark. On the one hand, you have doctors using it to help with diagnoses, and governments using it to speed up massive legal projects. But on the other hand, cybercriminals are using the exact same tool to write malware and phishing emails, which led to a more than 1,200% increase in malicious emails in just 1 year. The debate is also raging in the world of art. When the musician Nick Cave was sent a song that ChatGPT had written in his unique style, he wasn't impressed. He was horrified. He called it a grotesque mockery of what it is to be human, which really captures the deep anxiety so many artists feel about this. And look, these are not just philosophical debates anymore. The real-world consequences are hitting hard and fast. We've seen a lawyer get sanctioned by a court for using fake cases the AI just made up. A mayor in Australia is suing for defamation because ChatGPT falsely claimed he'd been jailed for bribery. And then there are the massive copyright lawsuits over how this thing was trained in the first place. Things got so heated that thousands of top tech figures, we're talking Elon Musk, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, they all signed an open letter. They were calling for an immediate pause on these giant AI experiments, citing what they called profound risks to society and humanity. And yet, despite all the warnings, all the fears, the technology just keeps marching forward. A study came out showing that GPT-4 actually scored better than 99% of humans on a standardized test for creativity. Let that sink in. Not just logic, but creativity. You know, for decades, the ultimate goal for AI was the Turing test. Could it fool a human into thinking it was also human? Well, one researcher says ChatGPT has already broken that test, and that leaves all of us with a really fundamental question. If a machine can not only imitate human intelligence, but actually start to surpass our own creativity, what does that mean for the future?